Hey guys, we are on lesson 7-4 and the title is Tree Diagrams, and the objective is to use tree diagrams to find expected outcomes for chance events and to compare actual results of a simulation to expected outcomes. So if you open up your book to page 257, the math message there, it says the diagram at the right shows a maze. A person walking through the maze does not know in advance how many paths there are, how they decide. Pretend that you are walking through the maze. Each time the path divides, you select the next path at random. Each path at an intersection has the same chance of being selected. You may not retrace your steps. So if you look at that tent and you enter it, it says, in which room are you more likely to end up? Room A or B? Well, if you look at how many openings, there's 1, 2, 3 for B, and for A, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to most likely end up in room, yes, A, because there's 4 openings compared to 3. Okay, so the next one says, suppose 80 people took turns walking through the maze. Actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, I lied. Room A has 5 openings, room B has 3. Okay, so suppose 80 people took turns walking through the maze. So think about this. You have 80 people, and it's all random, and you have 8 openings, 5 of room A, 3 in room B. About how many people would you expect to end up in room A? Write it down. And write down B. If you need to pause this, pause it. Okay, so hopefully you have A and B. The answer would be 50 for room A because there are 5 openings, and 30 for room B. So it says your teacher will show you how to complete the following tree diagram. You can read about tree diagrams on pages 154 and 155 of your student reference book. So please, our 5th grade student reference books aren't the same, but go ahead and look at tree diagrams in there. Okay, so if I'm showing you how to do complete the following tree diagram. So you have 80 at the top, okay? And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 openings. So 80 divided by 4 is 20. So that second row, everything is going to have 20 because they're all split, they're all split even. Now if they weren't split even, it would be different. And then if you look at the next row, if you take 20 and you break those equally, 10 plus 10 is 20. So you should have 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And because there's 4 openings in our room, so 5 of them are A, 3 of them are B. Okay, so if we were continuing, so go ahead and look in your student reference book. I think that it's in there. So if you turn to page 258, that's what we're going to do next, but I wanted to do a couple examples here. So this is 30, okay? If I have 30 and I have 3 groups that are equal, they each get 10. And all these boxes are equal, so 5 and same with 100. If I had 100 and I broke it into 4 groups, they would each get 25. So right now you're just watching because this is just me modeling. And then if I broke them all up into 5, they would all have 5. Okay, so now that you've seen a couple examples, if you turn to page 258, it says use the tree diagram below to help you solve the following problem. So you have it has 2, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it says about how many people would you expect to end up in room A? Okay, so if I have my enter, there are 2 ways to go. So my first one would be, since there's 60, my first box would be 30 and 30 because there's 2 options. Now, off of the first one, there are 3 branches, and off of the second, there are only 2. So this was 30 here, and this was 30 here. But now, since there's 2 branches, what plus what gives me 30? That's right, 15. So your first row, one side's going to be 15 if it has 2 coming off of it. This one has 3 coming off of it, so it's going to be 10, because 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals that. So it says how many people end up in room A. Well, off of your one of 3, there's 2 B's and 1 A. And off of your other side, there's an A and a B. So if I put my B's together, I have 10, 20, 35. If I put my B's together, and if I put my A's together, I have 25. So A would be 25, B would be 35. Okay, so what I want you to do now is pause this video, and I want you to do the number 2, A, and B on page 258. When you're done, unpause it, and I will give you the answers. So pause this video right now and do that. Okay, so we're back. We start with 120. From the top, there are 2 ways to go. 120, that would be 60 and 60. Then the next one, it breaks off, and it has 2. And this one also has 2. So this one side is 30, but if you notice that 30 then, and the other side is 30, my bad. Okay, so you have 30 and 30, but one of your 30s, this one breaks into 3 groups, so that's going to be 10, 10, and 10. And the other side breaks into 2 groups, so that's 15 and 15. Now, if you're looking at the sides, we have B, B, A, B. So if you add all the A's together, you should have 50. And if you add all the B's together, you should have 70. What you just need to think about is breaking it down, and depending on how many branches are, that's what you have to split it up into. So what you're going to do now is finish your math boxes and your study link, and then you can go ahead and play Learning Farm. If you want to make your own, if you get done with everything, go ahead and make your own tree or story problem like this and share it with another person if you get done. But I would and then staple it, at least one of them, to it, because I would like to see that when I get back. So hopefully this makes sense, and happy Friday. Bye, guys.